Hey guys, Kay here. Welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. It's been a hot minute since we did one of these. And if you didn't check my community post oh gosh, it was months ago, but these will be very few and far in between. Is that how you say it? Might be. I don't know. Anyway, there won't be a ton of these. I just don't have the time to do them with all the other content on the channel. So yeah, there still will be some occasionally, but what I was finding is I really didn't have time to actually play the game, which I really missed. So that's kind of the scoop on that. So this is a bit outdated because Crystal Creations came out a while ago, but I have been working on this for months, whenever I had time. So anyway, it's in Oasis Springs. It's on a 40 by 30 lot, and I only used base game and the Crystal Creation stuff pack. So on the gallery, it tells you that, excuse me, that there's a couple other packs that we used, and that's not the case. I went through and checked and clicked the button that says, show me where these packs are used, and it had nothing. So anyway, it should be all set. It was kind of a fun challenge because I love using all the packs, but for this one I'm like, well, let's do something a little different. And it turned out pretty good. I've enjoyed playtesting it. I actually did not find any issues when I was playtesting it, which I was shocked and thrilled at the same time. But yeah, I was pretty excited about that. And I really wanted to embrace the desert kind of style. So that's what you'll see me going for here. And I do apologize that I'm still not feeling well from having COVID. So I have to clear my throat a lot and little coughs. So I do apologize for that. I put this off this week to hope, in hopes that it would get better. And I have run out of time on my deadline because I've already, told you all, oh, this is almost done. This is almost done for a while. And you know what? It's just time to put it out on the channel. It's just time, honestly. So that is what we are doing. And it was kind of a big lot, but I think I made use of the space pretty well with my landscaping, and which we will get to, but I enjoyed how the house came out too. There's a lot of space in it, and I was a little worried because I am so reliant on packs in general. So sometimes it was hard when I would click and, filter to only show me Crystal Creations and base game. And I'm like, oh, you don't have this. Oh, you don't have that. Bummer. And then I just have to go around it. But it was a lot of fun though. I do love building. If it was the only thing I did, or if I only had like one other game on my channel, it would probably be more feasible. But as it is, this is what we're doing. Yeah, that was a little tedious, so I was like, well, let's just do a cute little cut to, to when it's all completed. Because I was trying to also reduce the time, because as you can see, it is a 50-minute video, so I didn't want to bog it down with stuff like that. I love that truck. Really love it. Love the color. Just love everything about it. And I don't know if I've actually used that fence before, but I'm a huge fan of the fence as well. Now just putting in some of the flowers. Nice little area. I definitely embraced the just a lot of browns. It's really a brown palette, and I think, I don't know, I really like it. It just kind of screamed desert to me. But whenever I do my landscaping, I try to look around the house, and because you can see in the top left right there, like I try to pull in elements that's already around the lot, because that means to me that it's more realistic. It's indigenous to the area. Is that the right word? Indigenous? Yeah, I think. Nice little cut again there. I wanted a cute pathway. I also really love those plants. Those were fun. And I love the red tile roof too. I think that's on the other houses around this one that were already in place. And what kind of, it's kind of strange. So when you're in the world view and you're going to go pick your lot and stuff, this one, the other ones, I don't know if I showed in this video, they all have green lawns as well, right? But then when you go to the world view, literally it just shows this one as a square of green, and all the other ones look like they have desert. It's I don't know if it'll do that when you download it. I don't know why it bugs me so much. It just does. I'm like, that's not real. That's not what you see. So I don't know if it'll do it for you all, but of course I will be putting a pool in because it gets hot in this world. He actually, I say he because I created like this bachelor for this house that loves to go, in my mind, like he loved to go to creations, like what do you call them, like conferences and shows, and he in my head he'd bring his pieces, like his jewelry, and he would like kind of display it, and then he talked to other people who also work with crystals, and it would just be like just a fun thing for him where he can meet new people and also indulge in his passion of creating jewelry. So I forget what I named him. I don't remember. There is a point later on in the video too where, because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted the story to be, honestly, when I first started the build. And I put down, I think it was like a kind of a kid's theme. It was base game, but it was a kid's theme basket with like a stuffed animal and like some blankets in the living room. And I believe it shows in the screenshots, but I did end up deleting that and I put a stereo there instead. Just more bachelor, like, Because I also envision him having like a lot of parties, where he can invite his friends that he meets at the conferences and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of, I think one of his traits was party animal. Is that whatever the party trait is? But yeah, now I think we're gonna get started. Oh, the back patio. Yes, I was pleased with how that came out too. I was a huge fan of the color palette. And I love me a pergola. I think that's what that is. Excuse me. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Gotta fact check myself here, But yeah, I really do love the backyard. And I just thought it would be kind of interesting, right? Because what you just saw me put down, that's how you charge the crystals. And they get charged by the moon. So I was thinking, well, why don't we just have this raised landscaping in the back? And it'd be a really cool feature where the charging platform is on the top of it. And it just, I don't know, I kind of loved the idea and I ran with it. So you kind of got like tiered landscaping in the back that will have stairs that leads up to this platform. Yeah, and then at that moment I was like, ooh, that's way too close to the porch. But I hadn't really done anything like this. I don't know. Because I was like, well, let's just get it closer to the moon. I mean, it's not that much closer, right? But I was like, it might be a neat feature because the backyard is so big that I thought it would be kind of cool. The end result is neat. I don't normally play with landscaping like this, so it took a little bit, as you can see, of time to try to get it exactly the way I wanted it. But I do like how that turned out. of course you have to have fall protection, right? Can't be having Sims falling off. And what you'll see me do in a minute is I end up putting large rocks around it. I love stone. I love it. I don't indulge in my expensive tastes in my actual life, but I do have them because I love stone. I love it. And as a building material, it's fairly expensive. If you go with the real stone, you know, not I mean, the veneers can still be expensive too, but yeah, I loved how this turned out. It's kind of a hike, right, to go put your crystals up there, but I think it's kind of fun. And I wanted to, I don't know, when I was looking at it, it didn't quite look right. So I thought putting, you know, large rocks around it would help. And it looks a little weird right now, but the end result I was really pleased with. And I do have, as in all my videos, a link for the tool mod in my description. I love using that when I'm building. It's such a game changer. I'm sad not to be building a lot more, but honestly, I've been able to have more gameplay, and that makes it worth it. Because as much as I love building, I love playing too. Like, I like the stories, creating my stories, and I don't know. It's just I've loved The Sims. Been playing it since the first one. It's just super fun. There's so much you can do. I think my next video, which maybe we shouldn't talk about because we're still in this one, but it's going to be more of a renovation one. That's all I'm going to say. Like home renovation. Maybe I'll make like a new playlist for my Sims 4, you know, renovation videos. Because one of my favorite parts of playing is starting a new game with a sim where I don't use any money cheats at all. And I work up to, you know, where they have nice things and they can build like a different house or renovate one of the starter ones. That's kind of my favorite way to play. So I wanted to showcase that a little on the channel. Once I get there, like I said, any Sims 4 videos will be very sporadic, but can't cut them out completely because I love the game so much. I think that's the problem. There's so many games I like. I love gaming. Love it. Obviously, right? I have a gaming channel, but I love gaming. And the problem is I don't just love one, you know, or one genre. I love a whole bunch of different games. And there's just not enough time in the day for all of them. There just isn't. But I am blessed to have the time that I do have to play. So, not a complaint. Very pleased. But there is a lot of games out there. Like a lot. Sims, though. I love me some Sims. Yeah, so I did place some crystal trees down, so those will be in your game or in this build if you choose to download it. I put 3, and then I also was like, well, they're gonna have to have the gardening skill, right, to take care of these trees. So why don't I put a little garden on the side of the house? And it will show in the screenshots. I do end up putting or planting in each one. So if you download it from the gallery, it will have all the plants. There's flowers in these little pots, and then there's herbs and veggies, and I think a couple of trees, 1 or 2, in those planter boxes. Of course, if you don't want any of them, you can just put your own plants in there. But so now I'm creating the pool, and I decided to do something a little bit different. It's a little odd. I was trying to figure out spacing, but basically as you can see, there's a sunken area, and there's going to be like a little bridge to it, and there's going to be some lounge chairs. And I believe the champagne bucket. See, I couldn't decide what I wanted to do here, and it didn't quite work out, so I do change this. But anyway, yeah, between the two lounge chairs, I put the champagne bucket that you get from a really good first date, I think. Yeah. So I wanted to put a hot tub, but that, I don't know, those are pretty big, so that didn't end up happening. But your sim can go over and they can tan, which is kind of neat feature. So they can just, they can go for a dip in the pool, and then when they want to tan, they can come out and lay in the lounge chairs. When they get too hot, then they can go back in the pool. Again, I was like, did I put ladders in? I don't remember. This part, the exterior, I actually did a while ago. I want to say probably 3 months ago. I can't believe how fast time is going. So just gonna put some lights in, so they can go swimming in the dock if they want to. Ends up being a good amount to do outside. Yeah, I didn't really like how the tiles looked, the stone tiles that I used on the platform up to where the charging station is, so I just decided to do some of this landscaping instead. I didn't want it to be too pronounced or dark, though. Have it surround the little lantern boxes. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Using some of the little indigenous plants again. I end up putting a little bench over here against the fence. Yeah, I love the cactus too. Cacti, because right? Is that the plural? Cacti? It might be. I do have fun landscaping. It doesn't come easily to me. Like some of the YouTubers I watch, I'm like, wow, you are incredible. Like, this is amazing. It does not come that easily to me, but I do have fun with it once I can kind of figure out what I want to do. Got a little gate. Yeah, I think the bench will go right there. Yeah. I think the outside's nearly done. It was hard not having all of the little decoration clutter items, because I use those a lot. So that was a challenge, trying to keep that, I don't know, dynamic, not just using the same thing everywhere, but you will see things repeated throughout the home. Of course, you got all those windows looking out to the backyard. And we need a grill. I love that grill. I don't know what it is. It's just, I love it. It's really cool. So you got the grill, and you got a little seating area out back on the patio. I think, yeah, I just add some garden clutter and decor. And then I believe we're going to be moving to the inside. And I was pleased with how the inside came out too, especially the crystal creations part, where all the magic happens, all the jewelry. I love the Sims 3 camera too. I don't use it in gameplay, but I have started using it a bit more in building. Probably not as much as I should, but I do love it. You can just really get more of the views that you need to make sure that the build is turning out the way you want, or that you don't have floating items where you don't want where you don't want floating items. Yeah. Okay, we are starting on the inside. So what would be the garage is going to be the whole Crystal Creations den, is what I kind of like to call it. Got a huge living, kitchen, dining area too, which is all in the back. Maximizing those backyard views. I like the tile too. I almost never use that tile. All right, so as you can see, it's a very large area. It kind of, yeah, it really does end up being a library and, you know, his workshop. Because how could I not use those gorgeous bookshelves that came with the pack? I mean, they're just, with the ladder on them, they're gorgeous. I love them. It's a lot of good stuff that came with this pack, honestly. Like those display cabinets are really pretty too. I'm setting up his workstation right now. Try to use a bunch of the pack items in this space. I do put some gems down too that can be used. Ah, look at those bookshelves. Gorgeous. I end up cluttering those the best I can. I definitely missed my clutter items when I was doing this room. I did have a little bit of a hard time deciding what I wanted to do on either side of the bookshelves. So I figured too, you know, if you've got this whole library space, wouldn't you want to, you know, have a space to read and to kind of lounge as well? So that rug is where I'm going to be putting some couches and a coffee table in between them. Put the gold bars there, because eventually he's going to have a ton of money from selling all this jewelry, right? Yeah, this is where I felt the lack of clutter the most. But they do have a good amount of base game items that you can put in, which I was appreciative of. Of course, you can always take the those gems can be used to create. So okay. I think now we're gonna get the couches put in. I love the backing on those couches. It's really pretty. what do they call that? Tufted? I don't know. But yeah, it's just a really cozy space where jewelry can be created, and but also it's just a nice space to go in and kind of hang out and chill. You can see the outline of the opening that I used to try to create a realistic looking garage door from the outside. But at first it kind of bugged me, but then I was like, well, it frames that area a bit. It's not terrible. This is just a little storage room. Because I figured, you know, you're probably going to have a storage room if you have all of this work you're doing. So this can be a place to store gems. It can be a place to store extra jewelry that you don't want to sell yet, or whatever the case may be. I put some of the props on there. Of course, those can be deleted if you actually do want to use it for storage. Extra tools. Then we got extra gems. Okay, so now we are going to work on the little mud room. Oh, there obviously there is not an exit from the garage to the outside. So technically, you know, you're coming in the front door. So this mud room you would never enter through, but I wanted it to seem realistic in terms of like if you were to come, a lot of houses you go into like a mud room or a plate like a drop zone, you know, from the garage. So that's kind of what I wanted to show here. And the powder room is also off of this little entryway, so it's kind of out of the way. Guests can just go and get to it without it being right off the living room or the kitchen. I need to find a better way to like I know some YouTubers use water, like those water bottles. That might be good because there's so many spaces, right? That things just snap to you. So just placing a bunch of clutter, like what I did with these packages, makes it so I can put what I want on there. But ooh, it makes it look very bad until this point right there. So staying true to the mudroom idea, I wanted to have a little shoe stand there. We're moving on to the little powder room. I do like that mirror. I think I just ended up going back to... Oh no, I did stay with those ones. Okay. Oh, okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure I went back to the first ones I put on. Yeah. Just a small little bathroom. Which, as I was playtesting it, it was very convenient to have. You know, at first I was like, do I really need a bathroom on the first floor? Yes. Yes. Very convenient. Gotta get them light switches in. All right, so this area is the kitchen, and you just saw me place a door to the pantry, which I'm super happy with how that came out. Actually, the kitchen itself is huge. I was thrilled with how the kitchen came out. Pantry and kitchen. It's a lot of working space. Great for him wanting to host his parties, you know. So I didn't know this. I think this may be the first build I've done it in. I didn't know you could enlarge the fridge and still have it be functional. And because it is functional. Again, I tested all of that and it just looks better being a bit bigger, honestly. So I matched the cabinetry in the pantry, but I added some of those gorgeous, just kind of pantry cabinets is what I call them. I don't even know if that's the right term, but just really pretty. And the microwave's in there. I also put another sink in here too. Little window to let some natural light in. Keep the extra olive oil and the other, spare set of coffee grounds in there. But yeah, I was really pleased with the pantry. Really, really pleased. Makes me happy to play this build and tend to see it because it's not even like it's super functional, right? I mean, you go in there to use the microwave and maybe I did set the kitchen or the sink type to kitchen, so they'll go in there to use the sink occasionally, but I don't know. I still was so happy with it. Yeah, I kept I think the kitchen clutter was tasteful. I didn't overdo it in this case, and I do love my clutter, but just added a, a little bit of stuff. I really like shelves, like open shelves in the kitchen. I mean, I like cabinets too, right? Because it hides the clutter, but gotta have the coffee maker. I personally am useless without my morning coffee. So I do incorporate coffee makers in most of my builds. I like tea too, but tea's more of an afternoon thing for me, or evening even. I'm actually drinking coffee right now, but I probably should, with how my throat's been, I probably should be drinking tea. But I just, all last week, wait, I guess it was the week before last week now that it's Saturday. But anyway, when I had COVID, I didn't have coffee at all. It was terrible. I had tea, which was very helpful. But now I'm like, that I'm in the week of recovery, I guess, from having COVID. I'm like, nope, we're good now. We're not right, but nope, gotta have my coffee. I gotta have it. I think it's more a habit thing for now. Like, it's not like I'm, what do you call it? Like noticeably slower or more dumb without coffee, but I just love it. I feel like I had withdrawals. Not bad though, but wow, we went down a rabbit hole with the coffee thing. But anyway, yes, this has a coffee maker in it. And yeah, I was pleased. I really did I like the kitchen. And there's plenty of space for him to work. Oh yeah, at that point I saw the garden hose when I was trying to look for clutter in the kitchen. I was like, oh, that'd be perfect. So took a little detour there. But yeah, the kitchen is a nice space. So I realized as I was building, and you'll see it after I get done the living room or maybe even during a bit, I was like, wow, that is a very long space. It's just a ton of room to move in this house. It was neat to do base game only because, well, and Crystal Creations, right? But because I never use, like the furniture you're seeing in the living room right now, I never use ever. So it was actually really cool to use stuff that I don't normally put in my builds. I really liked it. I love the red shelf that is also in my video description. Cannot take credit for the red shelf or tool, obviously. Anyone who's been with Sims long enough knows who created them, but I like to put that little disclaimer in there. I did not create those. I love that flower arrangement. It's pretty. I had a hard time finding curtains I liked too. I'm okay with these. I think they do the job. Oh yeah, that basket I just set down next to the fireplace, that gets deleted. I do put a stereo there. Because my sim with that party trait or whatever, he wants to listen to music a lot, so. Or put on music, when people are over, because or not always, but there's sometimes that when you're doing a goal event, then it's like have 3 Sims dancing at the same time or have 3 Sims listening to music at the same time. So I wanted a stereo there instead. I don't remember if I had to delete that vase in the corner. You'll see in the screenshots. I don't remember. Oh yeah, here, so like I said, with that party trait and like this being kind of a house meant to host, at first I was like, well, let's put a console table, just an accent. And then this is me being like, oh my gosh, look at this space. What am I gonna do with this? That was this moment. Yeah, I end up putting a bar because, if it's going to be a house that sees a lot of events and parties, I mean, you can hire a mixologist and, yeah, put a bar down. So I end up kind of just running with that. I put some of those little lights that seem really tacky you see in bars sometimes. Between the island and that little table, I figured there was plenty of seating because you have the 3 bar stools at the island, and then you have the 2 bar stools at the actual bar, and then you've got 4 chairs at this table. So I was like, that's probably plenty. Because I didn't want to overclutter the space either. Thought some old-timey photos would be kind of neat. Fit the theme a little bit. Because I picture like Oasis Springs being where pioneers came and stuff. With a lot of the crystals are found. Like there's a lot of crystal generation spots in there. So I figure maybe it was a gold rush spot or something like that. So those pictures, I had to explain why it kind of fit the theme in my head. Because when I said it, I was like, well, if you don't explain, it doesn't really make sense. Maybe it still doesn't make sense. I don't know. That's kind of what I envisioned. This ends up being, which is kind of cool, a 2-story foyer. So it's got a lot of light. At this point I didn't know that it was going to be, but I just loved the idea of that. So it's the direction I end up going. But you've got a little, kind of accent table in the foyer with a lamp on it. I love that package flutter, so that makes an appearance again. Also was a huge fan of that table. Like, I would love that table for my own house. It's just gorgeous. I like that too. So again, this part was maybe done maybe 2 months ago, so that it's almost like seeing it for the first time, because it's been so long that I'm like, ooh, I like that. Ooh, it's like, well, obviously you put it in there, right? But it has been a little bit since I've seen this, so I guess I did play test it, right? But you don't always see these details when you're play testing because the plants and stuff. Oh, here's where I'm putting together the 2-story foyer. The plants aren't, you can't interact with them other than if it's in the garden. So that, I guess you could admire them, right? I don't remember, but either way. So that's why I'm kind of ogling over. I'm like, ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I really did like the 2-story foyer. Some of that some of that railing gets deleted because the primary bedroom the owner's suite goes in the front there. I don't think I mentioned. Yeah, this house, you probably figured it out now, but this house has 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bath. It will say 3 on the gallery because it doesn't let you do 2.5, but it's got 2 full bathrooms and the powder room. And yeah, so it's also got this loft on the second floor that looks down into the foyer, which I just love. Honestly, I think the outside took the most amount of time, as it does for me in terms of landscaping. But I also don't normally build um, on this big of a lot, so that was kind of a second challenge as well for me. And I just wanted to repeat the elements I used on the first floor. And I put a chess table in. This is kind of, where the computer desk is going to be, and where I think I put a guitar up there too. I end up deleting those because, again, I try to go for functionality and like realism. And if I have curtains up there, how are you going to close them other than with like one of those really long rods, So just for consistency, I decided to delete them on the first floor as well. But in case that library in the garage wasn't enough for you, there is another set of bookshelves in the loft. And then the computer desk as well. So there's a good amount of activities for Sims to do. I think I did not include workout equipment, but it has most of the other things. I say most, but that's not even really accurate, right? Because there's so many skills now that your Sim can do. So many. So I guess I probably shouldn't phrase it like that. There is a decent amount of skills that your Sim can work on. I'm going to say it like that. Also, they just announced, what is it called? I don't remember the name, but a love-based or date-based expansion pack coming in about a month, little less than a month. So that'll be kind of fun. I'm curious to... I actually haven't watched the trailer for it yet. I did see the announcement, but I always get excited when a new pack comes out. So I'm working on the owner's suite now. I do like the missionary furniture. It just went really well with this kind of build and just Oasis Springs in general. But it's really nice because the owner's suite has access to the balcony in the front. Can you call it a balcony? Deck? I don't know because it's got the wall. I'm going to call it a balcony. You got the double doors, just a lot of nice light coming in. I'm all about natural light. I love it. It's a psychological term for it too, like on how it brings contentment and peace. Not for everyone, right? But for most, if there's even a term that was coined for it. Don't get me wrong, I love the rainy day too, where I don't have to feel as guilty about sitting and gaming most of the day. But there is something about being out in the sunshine too. It's hot where I am though. It's been close to 100 each day. Just humid too. My hair does not like humidity. It's not a fan. Puffs right up. Yeah, so I thought I liked that kind of old schooly television, I was like, that'd be neat to put in the bedroom on the dresser. I was a huge fan of the mirror too, actually. I don't know if I've used that one in a lot of my builds. So I do end up putting some feminine products on the dresser as well. I figure that maybe he has a girlfriend that doesn't live with him, but that will come and stay, and she wants some of her products too. So that's why I put them there. And also, I don't want to be exclusive, right? If you download this build and you have, you know, a family or a couple that lives here, then, you know, both are accounted for. Plenty big enough for 2 people in that bedroom. So I stick with the same elements that I use on the first floor in terms of the tile and the wall covering. It's you know, it's kind of fairly a simple owner suite bathroom, but it does the trick. Does what it needs to. I know you would think with all the space on the first floor that I would have room for a laundry room, but I did not factor one into this build. What you could always do if you really wanted to was that storage room and off of the garage that I kind of was like, oh, this should be a storage room. You could change that to a laundry room and put laundry baskets in each of the bedrooms. So that is certainly an idea. So my thought with these is, right, he's a bachelor and he goes to all these conventions. That's the word. Did I use convention? I think I used conference. Conventions. You know, and he's got these buddies, and if he throws parties a lot and he meets these folks at conventions and makes friends, then he should have a couple of guest rooms. So when they're in town visiting, they can come and stay with him. Or the other side of it, if he has a party, he can have his friends stay over if, you know, if they probably shouldn't drive home. Not that you can drive in The Sims, but still. So basically, these rooms can easily change to a nursery or a kid's bedroom, but for my kind of story with this house, I just made them into 2 guest rooms, each with a different color scheme. This one's more green. I believe I made the other one more blue. But you've got the little guest towels on the dresser. I was so thrilled by that. It's the little things, you guys. It really is. I was thrilled. Here we go. So it's exactly the same layout, just different colors. This one's blue and has a darker toned wood. Gotta have the plants. But yeah, I just put stuff on the nightstand, and then the last room is going to be, well, actually, no, it's not the last one. Second to last thing is the bathroom in between, which I kept pretty simple. And then the last thing is putting a couple things out on the balcony off of the owner's suite. It was really fun to play this one. Gotta get some wall art. That painting I thought was perfect for the bedroom. Just the colors and, oh, it was nice. Finishing up this bathroom. I think if this is here where I'm like, oh, it's gonna be close. Where I was like, I didn't put a towel in the primary bathroom. Maybe. It might be coming. Or maybe I already did. I don't think I did. No, here it is. Yeah, where I'm like, oh my gosh, they need a towel. Okay. Well, this is the last space. I just put an easel and a couple things up here, but I'm going to end this voiceover here. You can download it on the gallery under BloodRoseKay. Let me know if you like the video, and yeah, I hope you all have fun playing it if you download it.